Hello, thanks for checking in my Perimenopause Health and Nutrition Guide. There's so much overwhelm out there right now about perimenopause, hormones, what to eat, what not to eat. So this is really just making it a little bit simpler and easier and setting the foundation for healthy perimenopause. Okay, so I would start with that because it doesn't matter how much supplements you throw at perimenopause, it's not gonna work unless you have the basic foundation in place. So this is designed to help you navigate health and nutrition in perimenopause and give you some easy and actionable tips to feel better overall. So let's get into it. So my name is Hannah Carrier. I've been helping moms for the last 10 years, moms 35 plus, to lose weight and get toned and just to feel better overall. So what do we do for movement? What's the most important thing for movement in perimenopause? So maintaining a healthy exercise routine during perimenopause is very important, but what was working for you in your 20s might not be necessarily working now in your 30s and 40s. So what to focus on once you are 35 plus? So walking 30 minutes 5 times per week or focusing on hitting 8K steps per day. I love to add my weighted vest too. You can choose from anywhere like 10 to 16 pounds to make it a little bit harder, make it a little bit of a workout. It helps with your bone density, or just walk. The movement is really important because a lot of us are sitting all day and working. So getting those steps in is going to help you speed up your metabolism overall. Also, strength training sessions, 3 to 4 strength training sessions per week to preserve the lean muscle mass that you're losing with aging and also gain the lean muscle mass back that you already lost with aging. This is going to help you speed up your metabolism. A lot of perimenopausal moms think, okay, I'm getting older, that's why my metabolism is slow. But the truth is really you are losing now with aging, or you already lost a lot of muscle mass. So it's important to build that lean muscle mass back to help that metabolism fire back up. Also, following an actual program instead of doing random workouts to target proper lean muscle gain. So having random workouts, it's hard to see if if you need to challenge yourself, if you should go heavier or no. It's harder to stay consistent too because you're just following random stuff. And to be honest, picking workouts on your own, just random workouts. I don't know about you, but I'm gonna pick the easiest workout, especially when I'm tired. So the plan is really important. Also, lifting heavy weights. You can do a workout, it can be the easiest workout in the world for you, or it can be the hardest. It really depends on what are you lifting, like what weights are you lifting. And adding also some flexibility exercises such as yoga or some stretching at the end to keep your joint healthy. So this would be for the exercise routine. Let's talk about food. Food is really important in managing your hormones and in balancing your hormones. In your 30s and 40s, it's harder to get away with what you were eating in your 20s. So now you have to focus on your macronutrients and your micronutrients too for your hormones to function properly. So let's start to talk about protein. I mean, I know we heard a lot about protein, but it's really important, especially in perimenopause. It's essential to consume adequate amount of it to maintain good health. Studies show that during perimenopause, women's appetite for protein increases due to the breakdown of tissue protein caused by hormonal changes. However, if protein requirements are not met, women tend to overeat other forms of energy. So how much protein should you be eating? So take your weight in kgs. You can easily, just ask Google what is my weight in kg, and multiply your weight in kgs by 1.6 to 2.2. I would go probably closer to 2 grams of protein per kg or 2.2 grams of protein, especially when you're working on building that lean muscle mass. And you want to distribute this protein during the day. It's going to help you stabilize your blood sugar if you add protein to every meal. So I have 4 meals per day, and I build every meal around protein, and I focus on at least 30 grams, if not more, of protein per meal. So let's talk about different protein sources. So here it is. So lean poultry, chicken breast, turkey breast. I like chicken thighs too. I'm kind of sick of chicken breast. Fish, salmon, tuna, cod, trout. Lean meats, lean beef, pork tenderloin, lean scallops of lamb, eggs and dairy, Greek yogurt, cottage cheese, milk, a little bit less protein, but still some. You always have to look at the food. I'm always looking at it. What is going to give me the most amount of protein for the least amount of calories? Okay, I'm always looking at volume. I want to feel full. Okay, I don't want to have 2 tablespoons of peanut butter that's going to give me 200 calories and barely any protein. Okay, so you want to be smart with what sources you pick. Plant-based proteins, if you're vegan and vegetarians, but legumes and lentils, it is also a source of carbs, so it's not just protein. So I like to use this as my source of fiber and extra carbs. Nuts and seeds, again, a lot of fats in nuts and seeds. So it's going to give you some protein, but not as much. Seafood, great source of protein. Lean cuts of game meat, great source. Protein powders, plant-based regular. I don't use much protein powders because I always prefer real food. I want to have that volume. But if you need some extra protein, if you don't feel like eating in the morning, just easy shake smoothies, it will help. Soy products, tofu, tempeh, edamame, and seitan. So again, depends if you're vegan, vegetarian. Definitely for me, I focus more on eggs, egg whites in the morning, and then meats for my lunch and dinner for my protein, and some Greek yogurt for my snack or cottage cheese. So focus foods, really important in perimenopause, getting your omega-3 fatty acids in, supporting heart health, reducing inflammation, improving cognitive function, enhancing mood and emotional well-being, maintaining bone health, balancing hormones. Also, alpha-linoleic acid, this is type of omega-3 fatty acids found in plant sources like flaxseed, chia seeds, and walnuts. Very beneficial also for perimenopause. So I would do both. I would do omega-3s. I would also do the ALA. And here are some sources you can use. Fatty fish, salmon, mackerel, sardines are a great source of omega-3s. And low calories, just get sardines in water. Anchovy, herring, trout, albacore, tuna, flax seeds. Make sure it's ground flax seeds. Flaxseed oil, chia seeds, walnuts, and then some little bit less, less omega-3 sources. Soybeans, hemp seeds. Krill oil actually does have a lot. Algal oil, grass-fed meat, eggs enriched with omega-3. You can also take a supplement just to make sure you're getting your omega-3, because I know lots of us don't eat fish every day, so that's okay. So supplements are also very beneficial. Another focus food you should focus on is fiber. A lot of women in perimenopause are not getting enough fiber, and it's very important to help you stay full and manage your weight and blood sugar control, heart health, also for hormonal balance, bone health, colon health, and also with potentially reducing menopausal symptoms. So lots of fiber. Aim at least for 25 to 30 grams of fiber per day. You can use food tracker of any kind. One I can think of that is free is MyFitnessPal. And you can add your foods during the day and you can see how much protein you have. You can also see how much total fiber you have per day, If you want to increase the fiber, start slowly. If you go from 10 grams per day to 30 grams a day, you're going to feel bloated. You're going to feel your stomach is going to feel sick. So just up your fiber slowly. So great sources of fiber: whole grains, quinoa, brown rice, oats, barley, legumes. Like I said, these are my favorite carbs: lentils, chickpeas, black beans, kidney beans, pinto beans. Fruits, also great fiber. Lots of vegetables. You should aim for 1 pound of vegetables per day. This is going to make you more full. It's going to give you also enough fiber, and it's going to help you detox the bad estrogens from your body. Then you have nuts and seeds with some fiber, whole wheat products, popcorn, dried fruits, high fiber cereals, vegetables with edible skins. And you can also add some supplements like psyllium husk or different fiber supplements. Building a balanced plate. So this is how your plate should look like. I'm not going to say my plate looks like this all the time. In the morning, I don't have as much vegetables. I'm focusing on vegetables as my lunch and dinner. So some fibers that help you keep full. Protein, again, 2 eggs is not enough. This is just for the picture. Add some eggs, egg whites to get more protein out of your meal. 2 eggs only have 12 to 14 grams of protein. Some healthy fats to help you stabilize your energy levels. And also some complex carbs. And I know Carbs are scary, especially when you're a millennial mom, but they're really important to help your hormone to function properly. Okay, so just add a little bit, don't overdo it. Okay, so a little bit of carbs to every meal, very, very small portions. Healthy fats versus saturated fats. So focus on healthy, unprocessed fats. That's going to give you some, omega-3s, monosaturated fats. Stay away from saturated fats. Some are healthy, some are not as healthy, but probably mostly focus on not getting fats from processed foods, okay? So choose lean protein, a little bit of less fat. And also less fat is gonna save some calories for you. I always like to look at my even protein sources, what is the best bang for my buck? I want to have volume, I want to have a lot of protein. So 0% Greek yogurt is going to give me more protein, more volume, less calories. Chicken breast is going to give me more volume for more protein for less calories than some fatty steak. But I do like my steaks too. Cook with healthy oils, olive oil, avocado oil, coconut oil, limit processed foods, and make sure you read food labels. Okay, so what's next? So complex versus refined carbs. So a lot of carbs, eating carbs, especially the refined carbs like white bread, white rice, they really turn into sugar the moment you eat them. So you want to focus on a little bit slower carbs there, that have some extra fiber or even protein. So they're like slower digesting carbs, and they keep you full longer, and that will help you stabilize your blood sugar better. So choose whole grains, limit sugary beverages, read food labels, snack wisely. Again, I like my sugar, I like my sweets, so I try to opt for fruit. I sweeten with monk fruit sweetener if I want a sweet Greek yogurt. And I opt for dark chocolate instead of milk chocolate. I have 85% dark chocolate, which is mostly fat and really minimal sugar, but it still gives me the same satisfaction as the milk chocolate, okay? And make sure you cook at home. That's going to help you to keep those calories in check. So impact of sugar, I know lots of us crave sugar, it's normal because, you're tired, you have low energy, you have mood swings, you want to have more sugar. But this can contribute to weight gain, hormonal fluctuation, and worsen mood swings. It can also increase the risk of insulin resistance and negatively impact cardiovascular health. So limit added sugar as much as you can. For your water, add some fruit in your water to infuse it so it tastes a little bit better. I also drink a lot of herbal teas. I have one right next to me here that tastes a little bit better than water. Spice it up, experience it with spices like cinnamon and nutmeg. Make your own desserts with a little bit healthier sweetener like honey and maple syrup, but just watch out. Honey and maple syrup still turn into sugar. So if you want to have your calories in check, fruit is better choice, or I use monk fruit sweetener that helps. Sweet swap snacks, again, so just use fruit instead, small serving of fruit, dark chocolate, and just mindful indulgence. So practice mindful eating by savoring small portion, not having like the whole chocolate bar. But if there is something, I always tell my clients to set your environment for success. So if you have junk food in your pantry like chocolate and chips, doesn't matter how disciplined you are or how much willpower you have, you're gonna eat it like sooner or later. So the best thing is just keep it out of your pantry, and it's gonna make it so much easier. Meal prepping. So meal prepping will really help you in any stage of life, but perimenopause is important when you are keeping your weight in check. Keep it simple. You don't have to meal prep some crazy complicated meals. I always just have some protein, some carbs, some veggies, and just make a little bowl. Okay, keeping it simple. Focus on protein. Include fiber-rich foods. Stay hydrated. Simplify recipes. So anything with crock pots, low amount of ingredients works for me. I don't even know, I don't know if you're like me, but I'm saving like so many recipes that I'm gonna make one day. And I just keep making my staples that are simple and easy, and I know what I'm doing already. Stick to regular meal schedule for stable energy levels. Batch cook and freeze individual portions. Have healthy snacks like nuts, yogurt, and cut up veggies available. And keep a food diary and pay attention to how different foods affect your well-being, but also how it affects, does this food make me full or no. Okay, like that's very important, especially when you're in caloric deficit and you're trying to lose some weight. Okay, what's next? Let's talk about lifestyle quickly. Very important too is sleep in perimenopause. For your metabolism to function properly, you want to get more than 7 hours of sleep, which sometimes it might be hard. So try to go to bed a little bit earlier. Make sure you get at least 7 hours. What works? It's going to be hard when you're going to bed at midnight. Oh, I'm going to start going to bed at 9. Slowly come back a little bit, every day, maybe go to bed 15 minutes earlier. And try to go to bed every day at the same time, wake up at the same time. Create relaxing bedtime routine. Some meditation, reading, staying away from screen. Magnesium glycinate helps for better sleep if you just want to calm down. L-theanine as well. Optimize sleep environment. I like to put my phone on airplane mode. I put my eye mask too. I put my mouth tape and I go to sleep, and it works for me. Also, mindful eating and drinking. I cannot have caffeine too late. And if I have meals too close to my bedtime, I usually have my meals like 3 hours before bedtime. I feel full. I cannot sleep. I'm so used to like not eating before bed that I feel so uncomfortable, and it's hard for me to fall asleep if I eat close to my bedtime, like 30 minutes before bed. And manage stress. If you feel stressed out, try a little bit of meditation, maybe writing a little journal before you go to bed just to calm down. And self-care quickly. So I know it's hard to, most of you are moms. It's hard to, like do the self-care or have time for self-care. But focus on micro moments, little workouts, little walk, deep breathing, deep mindfulness exercise. Integrate self-care into a routine. Add a nice cup of tea, have a coffee in peace. Even exercise, for me, it helps. It's my form of self-care. Like I feel better. I feel mentally stronger when I exercise. Set boundaries with your family, with your friends as well, and colleagues. Ask your significant other for more help. Okay, that's very important if you want to have the time off, if you want to have the time for self-care. And embrace flexibility, because with kids, it's impossible to have any kind of schedule, or routine. So do your best, but be flexible. But make sure you take the time for yourself too. So hope this helps. Yep, let me know. If you're interested in one-on-one coaching, just DM me best shape and let's chat and see if my program is the right fit for you.